So everyone now has a massive hole they're trying to fill because they know something horribly wrong is going on in the world. Some people drink, some do drugs, some are addicted to food, some to sex, some to shopping, and others their own ego boosting. And yet we dare judge one another on the method of escapism, when in reality we're all escaping by some means. We look around and we see economic and moral decay rapidly metastasizing, and yet they tell us we are prosperous. We are wealthy and in need of nothing. Right is wrong and wrong is right. Love equals acceptance, and anything resembling true love is cold hateful. We've been indoctrinated into this Aleister form of love. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of love, so long as it goes in line with their narrative, of course. Is it more loving for a doctor to tell you that they found cancer? Or is it more loving for them not to say anything to you because they know it will be too painful for you to hear? You're sick and seek medical professionals, whom in return treat you like a number, regurgitate a textbook answer, and shove you out the door with pills. Pills that mask your symptoms and all the while causing more damage. Cows are about to go on a hit list for causing global warming, while our food supply is terrifying to even evaluate, and anything that is even close to being healthy now is so expensive, we have to compromise and eat poison, furthermore keeping us ill. And around we go. We work and stress about going to work because of the stress that is caused by work not being enough for our most basic needs. By design, we have no time to evaluate reality and ask ourselves the hard questions. We've grown accustomed to less while paying more, being consumed by consumerism, and they have designed it this way. Systematically, our identity has been stripped away bit by bit and thrown into a melting pot of epic disasters. We say, let's agree to disagree, but our conflicting morals and values has only led us to a breaking point of no return. They've butchered the idea of the family unit, and now you don't know who wears the pants or if they both do at this point. People now have castle-high walls because they've been completely demoralized and betrayed by every facet of their reality. They took away anything resembling true community so that we would betray one another and not trust anyone. Like a scared, timid dog ready to bite out of fear, COVID really seemed to put the nail in that coffin. Through subversive means, we've been propagandized to death, and our political sphere has become so blatantly cheap that the media makes WWE look realistic. Our clown show in Washington only drives us closer and closer to their perverted utopia, resembling a form of hell here on Earth. 10 years ago, everyone screamed conspiracy nuts, and now everyone went woke, yet still chant conspiracy nuts as their mast is deemed necessary. Don't you see you're still following their narrative? When Trump first screamed fake news is when all hell broke loose and everyone decided to become a truther, so long as they still went in line with whatever major outlet they sided with. Red, blue, Democrat, Republican, Fox, CNN, blah, blah. It's all the same tactics time and time again. It's two sides of the same coin, and yet they're able to pit us against one another for our political affiliations. Through this fake news agenda, we find ourselves self-censoring to avoid the consequences. Freedom of speech is only pertinent to those who fall in line with their Gnostic ideologies under the guise of love, peace, acceptance, and social justice. Their power is illusionary, and yet so is our freedom. We live in this paradoxical existence that is made of iron and equally fragile. When will you wake up and see they will forever be dangling the carrot and utilizing the usual bread and circus acts as there is no new thing under the sun? I feel like Russell Crowe in Gladiator when he's like, "Are you not entertained?" I had to. Rome had a Colosseum. We have a worldwide Colosseum called our black screen devices. They feed us whatever entertainment we demand and crave at whatever time of day we command it. We tell ourselves we made the decisions we did, but was it our own genuine thoughts? Or was it a lifetime of grooming and conditioning, feeding our own selfish desires, allowing us an outlet of like-minded individuals fighting for the same beliefs? Was Antifa a naturally formulated group? Or was it funded and seeded by the powers that be? We lull ourselves and our children to sleep with these dead black screens. Are you not entertained? They have said for years how dangerous AI is and how they're summoning a demon. Or the beings they're summoning don't give a bleep about you, and yet they can wield this power. They still develop the technology they say is oh so very dangerous. God created everything with absolute perfection, with no need to genetically modify or summon their AI gods. Jesus said, "My people perish for lack of knowledge." We live in a world where knowledge is right at our fingertips, and yet headliner warriors storm and rage and regurgitate whatever their AI answer tells them, or by scrolling through TikTok, consuming everything from funny cat videos to aliens, earning them the badge of truther. And now they can use the infamous line, "I've done my research." Why the educational system when your device can just tell you the answers? Why the need for conviction when your device can just tell you the right and wrong? Why stop there? Why not just AI governance? You start with a penny, which will soon lead to the dollar. We are hooked on true crime and have no problem believing the serial murderers on TV can be charming and charismatic to lure their victims. But it is inconceivable to believe the monsters in Hollywood and politicians could be just that. We march for sexual perversion and immorality, but cover our ears to the true horrors going on each and every day, to the most troubling realities facing our nation. Pedophiles litter the most influential. But pedophile is a hateful term, and minor attracted persons is more loving and accepting. The child's life that the map destroyed gets swept under the rug, but march and march on for your right to sexual perversion and inclusivity. Society has been lulled to sleep and following the Pied Piper right off a cliff. Growing up, that saying, "the greatest lie the devil ever told," was convincing everyone he doesn't exist, was once applicable. But now we live in a world where he is sought out. We embrace witchcraft as cute and fluffy, or some prideful guru superiority complex of evolution and enlightenment. The supernatural is broken through and has been embraced by society, but the only answers people find or accept are, "That's dead grandma over there." Some spin off for the new age, white magic, aliens, and alike. We now believe in the existence of the spiritual realm, but it can never be what the Bible speaks of. That can only be for the dumb and the simple. We're far too evolved for that silliness. And yet, cancer, Alzheimer's, obesity, homelessness, drug addictions, and so on are more prolific by the day, while we sit around arguing about if men can menstruate. The word of God is infallible and never changing. It has spoken of the things in the darkness, which was once understood. O fallen world, when will enough be enough? We are devoid of God because God has been completely and utterly misrepresented, while systematically removing him from society, to the point where now you're ousted for truly walking in faith. But yet everyone calls themselves a Christian. These pretend churches do nothing but pervert the word of God, requiring mental gymnastics to rationalize their false teachings. These false teachings that only act to justify their own sin and filth, ruining the congregation they were entrusted to lead. They peddle Jesus and chant, "Come get your blessings here." Woe to you false teachers. We know our efforts of do-gooderism are in vain because we know there is a much deeper problem at root. We know there is a cancer of a parasitic nature that is in the underbelly of society that needs to be addressed before any true change can be made. We continue on our vain path because perhaps we can purchase our ticket into heaven by manipulating God. Or we can put on a good show to keep up with societal expectations while simultaneously earning us a great photo op for Facebook. Now we find ourselves seeking an antichrist counterfeit Jesus that is molded and sculpted into whatever form we'd like. We have New Age hippie Jesus, or would you like the gay Jesus? Or how about the new alien Jesus? And then I recently seen an AI Jesus, and that one seemed really cool because I'm pretty sure he's on the screen and that one could talk back to you. But I almost forgot. The Vicar of Christ himself is here on earth. Oh, fallen world, take your pick. Because my Jesus came and rebuked those scribes and Pharisees of old. My Jesus came and ripped down strongholds, setting the captives free. My Jesus is a conqueror whose words are sharper than any double-edged sword. My Jesus rose with the keys to death and Hades. And my Jesus will be coming back to rule and reign. My Jesus came and showed us what true love looks like. And my Jesus is the only one who can truly save, which is why I wanted to share my testimony. My heart is shattered by the pain and hopelessness that I see all around. In the last days, Jesus said, "Do not be deceived." and we live in a world that operates on deception. We have the antidote, but how can you convince anyone that everything they've been told since birth is a lie? How can you convince anyone the life they're living is a lie? The only thing I can do is share my story in hopes it will resonate with someone or bring comfort to someone who's already there but feels alone.